Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Unapologetic, the number one podcast for the people. Is yours truly, your host, Melly Mel, aka Mr. Unapologetic. I have a very special guest on my show today, ladies and gentlemen. I've been trying to get this brother on this show for quite some time, but God willing, we finally got him. The young king, Taye Uhuru, is in the building, ladies and gentlemen, and please welcome him to the Unapologetic family. How you doing, brother, man? Thank you for tapping in with us one time, man.
Oh yeah, I want to thank you, King. I truly appreciate you. It's an honor to, just even be on the show and chop it up with you. Thank you.
Man, so if let me get a people a little background. So let me speak to the people real quick, because this brother he has done so much, man. So much, man, at a very young age, man. He has so much to go with everything that he has going on right now. And I'm talking about, he's a historian, he's an activist, he's an author, he's a scholar, he's a businessman, he's an entrepreneur. I can keep going. And the list never, it doesn't speak for itself. So we're going to get him, answering us some questions so we get to know the brother and actually understand what he does and how he helps the people, our people around the globe. And brother, one of the questions I have first, and thank you for coming on once again, but
oh, no doubt.
What made you get into wanting to do all this? You're an artist, man, you're an entrepreneur, you're a travel, like what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna do everything I possibly can right now?
Right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to get it now, man. The way society set up, you got to wait till you're 65 to enjoy your life. And we ain't even making it to 65. So I'm like, nah, I'm going to get mine now and see how it work out later. But a lot of it started when I was young, man. My family have a history of Black nationalism. My great grandfather, he migrated to Cleveland. He was from Atlanta. He was from the A. And they came up with my great grandmother in the 1920s. So that was during the Great Migration. And that was the time Marcus Garvey was on the scene. So they joined the UNIA. You know what I'm saying? So I never met my great grandparents, but my grandmother told me about them because she was a kid. So she went to some of the meetings, she went to some of the parades. So she would tell me about the raising of the red, black, and green flag. So those things that I learned about when I was young, she told me like, yeah, my dad said we was Africans and we should go back to Africa. Just different little things. She wasn't necessarily a follower of them, but she did share that type of stuff with me. And then her son, which is my uncle, my mom's brother, he started his own Black nationalist organization in Cleveland in the 1960s. And, my mom would share that stuff with me. He did a lot of things in the city, you know what I'm saying, giving back. And then my mom, she gave me my first Black history book. She was a bus driver for Greyhound. So she would take us on different trips and stuff.
So I get to travel in one of the travel things.
Yeah. Okay. So it all started young, you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's so it's pretty much, you're telling me like it's in your blood, man. It's like you becoming all this was destined almost, per se. So how did you focus on one thing at a time? Like, what was the first thing that you hopped onto and just ran with it, and it became, a part of your legacy?
Man, it's hard to say. I mean, I've always been doing, multitasking and doing multiple things. I mean, the music started for me at a young age. You know what I'm saying? I had older brothers, my dad, and then I had cousins. They came to live with us. So it was always a house full of men, and they played records. And, so I got a chance to hear like Rakim and KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions and Slick Rick and Public Enemy, all that stuff when I was a kid, because a lot of my friends, they parents didn't either listen to it or they weren't allowed to listen to it. So I
Right,
listened to Scarface and the Ghetto Boys and Ice Cube. So I fell in love with music, at a young age, just digging through the albums and different things like that. Then I started kind of writing raps once Bone Thugs and Harmony came out because they was like the first big group from our city. So it made it more like, oh, okay, because it was, how each rapper say different little words and neighborhoods,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like, I
It
wonder
becomes
what's that like. But
yeah,
yeah, they started naming stuff around our way. Then it was like, oh yeah, so big shout out to Bone Thugs. But
right.
then I just kept going with it, writing raps in middle school, high school. We started recording on the tapes, like karaoke style, passing out tapes, letting people hear my tapes. Yeah. And then
Okay,
once I
you
got
started
grown, like,
hustling, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I started recording. I built my own little studio. I had to learn how to make beats, learn how to record, musical engineer. I had to buy the CDs, the cases, the covers. I had to buy the CD burners. I had to book the shows. I had to
man.
get the car. I had to get the hotel. So I was doing just a lot of stuff on my own. And then I bring my homeboys with me and we'll set up in Detroit. We'll go to,
Hey,
Indiana or,
you a good
you
brother
know,
because they have to book something for me, man. We got to work together, guys.
right, right. No, it wasn't like that, man, because I had the money and they didn't. I was just blessed, and I
Right.
worked for my money, ain't nobody give it to me. So I
Oh
had to
yeah,
work for it, get the
no
money up,
doubt.
and then I get it back later.
Wow, man. So music, I would you would say is a love
Yeah, yeah,
because
most
because
definitely.
I went and I seen your the what's the last song because it threw me off, man, because you're such a lyricist, like you
Oh,
tell a
thanks.
story,
That's a compliment. Thank
you
you.
know, you told a story uh when you was describing, the pain that that we go through, and you compared it from back then to now, how man it was smooth. I was like, wow, I
Yeah, I appreciate that.
gotta
You
listen
talking
to
about
this.
do revolutionaries go to heaven? Is that's the one
Yeah,
you talking about?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's my track right there, man. I like that.
I
That's
appreciate that.
real smooth, man. uh but okay, now going to your scholar part of your resume, should I say? Uh,
Hmm.
what what did you do? Like, what was your first choice as far as uh, how can I put it, profession in college? Uh, because you have some big degrees, man. Like,
Well, no, I don't got no degrees. I'm just experienced. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been to 100 countries. I ain't got no degree, but technically, I got a PhD in this shit. If somebody, I took college courses, so I'll break it down for you. So say like, I tell people I'm a historian. So that's like a broad term. That's like somebody saying they're a doctor. They could be a foot doctor. They could be
yeah, 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 yeah.
a brain surgeon. They could be the one that look at the baby. They could do prenatal care. They could be a bone doctor. They could study
Right.
cancer or they could study AIDS. It's so many things that person can get into. So when I was young, I would read about Black history casually, and I learned about it. So I always admired African people and African history. But when it got to the point where I was doing real concrete research, I started with my own family's history. So I did a lot of genealogy. So genealogy is like the study of basically your family lineage. My great
Right.
grandparents, my great 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 grandparents. So I retraced my roots going into the
Wow.
1900s, the 1800s, the 1700s. So now people pay me to do that for them. So I collect a lot of things like slave schedules, census records, birth certificates, death
Man,
certificates,
you're
marriage licenses.
self-taught professor, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to learn that one on my own, but I
Yeah,
took some college classes too, though, for sure. I got a chance to. I'm into history globally, but I got a
right.
chance to study abroad. I lived in Brazil. I went to school out there. I studied the Portuguese language, Brazilian history, Brazilian culture. I lived in Dominican Republic. I went to school out there for a little
Woo!
bit. Studied,
I love
Spanish
that.
language, yeah, Latino culture, Dominican, Caribbean culture, and different
Right.
things like that. And then I took it a step further. Then I started doing my research for the book that I wrote, the Afro Set. So the Afro Set, that's my uncle's organization. So Afro, that's short for African. People think of the hairstyle, but they was into African culture. So
Right.
this group was at the forefront of reintroducing black people in Cleveland to African history, African language. They taught them Swahili, African drumming, African
Wow.
music, African fashion, African dance, you know, different things like that, spirituality. You know, they had classes. They would teach them drug awareness. They would teach them economics. They would teach them
Wow.
health and wellness, you know, diabetes and sickle cell and stuff like that. They had self
Yeah.
defense. They went to the farm. They did target practice with the rifles. They practiced with the machetes. They did military drills. They did a lot of social stuff too. You know, they had like a free
Right.
breakfast, free lunch. They would have they built a theater and they would do like poetry readings, fashion shows, musical performances. They would show the kids movies and stuff. You know, they just was into a lot of different things. They did a lot of community policing. So when pimps came into the neighborhood, prostitutes, they would run
Right.
them out. They would run up in dope houses. They would take the dope, you know, run the drug dealers out the neighborhood. You know, people
Wow,
snatching
man.
purses and stuff like that. They'd catch them. You know, if kids was missing or ran away, they'd go look for
Yeah.
them. And even the police, when the police came into the neighborhood harassing black people, they would confront them. So it's a very exciting book. It's a lot of information about groups of people that actually fought back physically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
and not
you know,
just in the I write this, not no offense to any of our past predecessors that did that, but because that's a big
hmm
part of it. But now in our society, I feel like our actions will speak louder than our words,
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and you pretty much said what I feel. I said what I was feeling because we see that every day. As and as you have seen the world, man, it's like, uh, what did you take from all those places that you went to, and what were the similarities and what were they different at?
Um, I mean, it's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of differences. So, like one thing I could tell you, like say you go into Latin America, you go into Brazil, there's more black people down there than it is in America. They had more slaves taken from Africa than
Mm,
any other part of the Western Hemisphere. So when you go into Brazil, a lot more people address their African ancestry. They'll say this dance comes from Africa, this music comes from Africa, this martial art comes from Africa. You know what I'm saying? They're more connected to the African spirituality and things like that. So Brazil is a lot of racism as well and segregation, but during
right.
their slavery, they had a lot more rebellions, a lot more successful rebellions because they
Right.
outnumbered the whites. You know what I'm saying? So like when we was in the north, like or we was in America, like we may run away or follow the Underground Railroad. We had a couple rebellions, but when they rebelled, when they ran away, they would build a whole community in the woods. You know, they called them quilombos. You know what I'm saying? So you would have a whole community of runaway slaves, armed, and the whites would try to come back and get them. And a lot of times they fought them off for decades. You know what I'm saying? And they would go back out into the the whites area. They would rob them, take their weapons, and they was
Wow.
working with them. You know what I'm saying? But they don't teach you that type of stuff in
Yeah, man.
Brazil. Yeah, they took this. It's this martial art. It's called capoeira. It comes from Africa.
Yeah.
So basically, a lot of people you may know, but a lot of people don't know. Like so, basically, during slavery, when the masters would come around, the white people would come around. They would play music and they would dance. And then, when the masters would walk away or leave, they would use these dance moves as fighting mechanisms and defense mechanisms, how to strike, how to block, how to dodge. So, when it was time, the master come up, it's time to get away. You think you dancing, then next thing you know, they using it to, what I'm saying, break them off something. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Before
right,
they
right.
before they peel out.
That's wow. Yeah, see, I didn't know all that part. I didn't know all of
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They
But
got more than that. That's just a little pinch.
yeah, man, it's th- your it's like your hunger for knowing yourself drove you into took you to a place that not many have seen, in my opinion. And I mean by for example, all the things that you have done and did, uh and are doing, how there's no way you could pick a favorite, right? But
Yes, that's a tough one.
yeah, but what is at least one of your highlights in, writing, a book, traveling, or give us one highlight that you will always remember.
Man, I could name a few, but I'll say when I was living in the Dominican Republic, I was going to school out there in the mornings, you know what I'm saying? So in the afternoons, I would volunteer at this orphanage, and we got a chance to work with a lot of children. So out there, they orphanages is like independently ran. They're not ran by the government. So in the Dominican Republic, you would see like homeless kids. Like you don't see that in America, like kids sleeping outside at four,
Right.
5 o'clock in the morning. So people would drop their kids off at the orphanage and never come back. So I did a lot of tutoring and mentoring. I would bring my laptop up there. They never touched the computer before. I would let them play games on the computer. We would do little arts and crafts. We would help clean out the orphanage, paint it, fix it up, donate clothes, donate money, donate food, just different things to try to, keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the most uh, greatest experiences for me. But as far as like actual places, definitely Africa, the continent, you know what I'm saying? Africa, it got more countries than any other continent in the world. It's the most
Right.
genetically diverse continent, as far as genetics, DNA, animals, humans, landscapes, everything. Africa got all the minerals, diamonds, gold, oil. Africa got everything you could dream of.
As a one-stop shop, man. It's a beautiful country.
Yeah.
I wish that's one of my dream places to go. You know,
Oh yeah. You
yeah,
should
man.
go, bro. I take groups out there, man. Let me know if you want to go. We take middle
Oh
school
man.
students, high school students, college
Oh
students.
yeah.
I took adults. Yeah, yeah, for
They
sure.
gonna see unapologetic all in that, all in the motherland. I love it, man. But as far as see, he got me all throwing off people. He said I could go to
No,
Africa.
no, it's all good. Yeah, look, we go all year round. You could do a payment plan. You go any time of the year. If you want to go next year, the year after, you could plan it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not expensive or nothing like that. It includes the flight, the hotel, the breakfast, the dinner, flight insurance,
Man,
travel insurance, all the activities. So say like if we go to Egypt. We go to the Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, Hatshepsut's Temple, Temple of Luxor, Temple of Karnak, the Red
wow.
Pyramid, the Bent Pyramid, the Step Pyramid, the Pyramids of Giza. We go to the Sphinx. We go to the Cairo Museum. We ride the camels. We ride
Okay.
the boat down the Nile. All of those activities is included, so you don't even have to pay no more money. I mean, you bring more money for like gift shopping and things like that, but it's real flexible,
Tourism.
so.
Yeah. Okay, man. Now, is there a way that you can get a people like a website to book this trip or anything?
Yeah, definitely. I got a website. It's campcleveland.org. Camp Cleveland, CAMP Cleveland.org.
Okay.
I got my music on there. I got my books on there. I got my tours to Africa, tours to Brazil. I got educational online courses. If anybody need help researching their family's history, I got all of that information on there.
Okay. Okay. Make sure y'all go do that, man. Camp Cleveland. CAMP Cleveland. The state.
hmm
The state.
And I'm on social media too. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Camp Cleveland.
Okay. Now that's good to know, man. Thank you for letting the people know. But I also gotta ask, brother, what are you working on right now, man? That's big. Is it another music
Man,
project? Is it what you got going on, man?
yeah, man, I'm working on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
See,
I
I
got
try
some
to get them,
tours.
y'all. I
Yeah.
try to
No,
get them.
no, it's all good. It's pretty much the same stuff though. I'm working on some tours right now. I got a tour coming up. We're going to Cape Verde in September. I got a group, and then we're going to
Okay.
Ghana. We're going to Ghana in December. I'm working on writing music. I write music all the time. I think I'm gonna release an album soon. You know what I'm saying? Also,
Ooh.
my book. I'm working on doing like a children's version of the Afro set book. Something for the elementary, middle school kids. They can kind of tap into it.
Right, right. Now, now with your book, is there any other platforms we'd be able to get it off of? Like
No, you got to get it from me, man. It's all independent. You know what I'm
it's all
saying? So that way,
independent?
it
Okay.
is. I cut the
Okay,
middleman out.
so campcleveland.com is the place to go.
.org.
.org.
Campcleveland.org. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I like your organization, man. I like your platform. It's
Thank you. Thank you. I
you,
appreciate
you're showing people like how you're giving them a blueprint of how it's done, in this particular way. You do so much, man, and you have done so much. And I thank you for opening up your life to unapologetic, man. Is real smooth. It's real cool, man. I wish I could travel as much as you have and did. I've been a couple of states here and there, in the United States, but not too many has been to 60 countries. You feel me? So you have done so much.
Thanks, King. I appreciate you. I truly appreciate you. And keep doing what you do, man. We'll connect. We'll put something together.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming on to the show once again. That we always unapologetic over here. We keep it real. We want our people to feel comfortable. We have kings and queens every day on here, man. And we're going to continue to push this platform for everybody, like true kings should, man. Leave a legacy for the people, not just for yourself. And I want to thank the brother. We gonna give you a nickname, bro. I'll be butchering your name, bro.
No, it's all good. Because it's what it is. It's Taye, but it looked like Tay, or people
Yeah,
just because that's the way I spell it.
that's
The way that I spell it the way that they spell it in Ethiopia, because it's an African name. So
smooth,
I could
man.
have spelled it, the way it sounds, but I wanted to keep it, kingly. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, and I love that, man. But everybody, make sure y'all go to Taye's campcleveland.org and please hit them up, man. Get these trips booked. Get that book Afro set. I'm gonna get me a copy. I'm already on the computer right now doing it, so it's nothing that I can't do. Right, and like you said, I multitask. I'm trying to learn like my king right here. But remember to like, share, and subscribe on the channel. And please leave y'all comments, man. I love it when y'all leave comments. Show some love, and I'll show love back. And always remember, man, like, share, subscribe, and stay unapologetic like we always do. Thank you, brother.
Peace.